I really love Behind the Laughter, and apparently it seems to be quite a popular episode because it's got an IMDb rating of 7.9 out of 10, which for a Simpsons episode at this point in the series, or this point in the show, is a really high rating. This is actually the 22nd episode of the 11th season. It's directed by Mark Kirkland, and what's really interesting about this is we're breaking the fourth wall. The Simpsons is no longer just a TV show, it's actually a TV show with real actors acting the parts of the characters in the show. It starts off with a look at the idea about the TV show that Homer had and how The Simpsons was commissioned. This is obviously the fictional TV show The Simpsons that stars the actors Homer, Marge, etc. And then we see how successful the show became and how that fame kind of went to some of the characters' heads, how some of them, spent a lot of money and had this kind of lavish lifestyle. And it's the highs and lows of the Simpsons family and the feuds that came about, which I think is a pretty common thing. If you've got a family who are a star of a reality show or even a fictitious show based on their life, they're going to have creative differences and arguments are going to happen. And characters are going to have differences of opinions. And this is exactly what we get. And I love it. I love seeing, kind of creating this alternate world where the Simpsons TV show is actually a TV show with actors in it. I think it's absolutely fabulously done. I love how they've set up the interviews with the characters. I love the whole way it's animated. I just think it's really superbly done, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. And honestly, it's maybe one of my favourite episodes. I was slightly hesitant to say that. I don't know if it would be a top 10, but it definitely would be a top 10 from season 11, which is not saying much because it's not the strongest season, but I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Apparently, it's actually a parody of a TV series called Behind the Music, which I'm not familiar with, but it's got the same narrator, Jim Forbes, and obviously, if that means something to you and you can relate to that, that's obviously fantastic. For me, that doesn't mean anything, but that does not detract from the enjoyment of the episode. Really thoroughly enjoyed it. Really strong episode. And honestly, it's one I'd happily watch again and again. Needless to say, Behind the Laughter is one that I really thoroughly recommend.